Hotep, Namaste, Ashe, Islam, Shalom. Welcome back to another occult healing session. Uh, so today the topic is going to be 3 simple and easy ways to increase your imagination, because imagination is more important than knowledge. Okay. Now, the first thing I want to get into though is the fact of a couple different things that that are really essential in becoming a better magician or just a better human being, period. Okay, because again, all of this stuff, you don't have to be super spiritual, um but still these things are very important. And anybody who's doing the magic coaching sessions with me, we went over this. But the main things you need in order for you to become successful in your spiritual endeavors on the spiritual path, or even just regular success, period, in the materialistic world, is focus, discipline, imagination, and energy. Okay, again, focus, discipline, imagination, and energy. And also the icing on the cake is knowledge. Okay, the reason why, at least in my opinion, why I think Albert Einstein said imagination is more important than knowledge, is because your knowledge can become limited according to your imagination. Because if you're stuck within a box, okay, you're not going to be able to gain any knowledge outside of that box because you don't see it. What we have to realize today is that human beings, for the most part, not all of us, not those in the know, but we're just talking about the masses here. For the most part, human beings only believe what they can see. Now, of course, we have a ton of people that claim that they're religious. But if that was the case, again, this is why you can't truly always pay attention to what people say verbally. You got to pay attention to how they bear fruit. Because if that was the case, if they really believed, um, you know, they wouldn't do things a certain way. Okay. What we really can understand is that people believe what they can see. People believe what they can touch. People believe what they can hear. Okay. It's kind of hard for regular people to believe what they can't see, what they can't hear. Okay. Like I said, not paying attention to what people verbalize. Because there's tons of people out there that will tell you that that's not true, you know. But look at their actions. Okay. So you gotta be able to see it in your mind as well, in your imagination. Okay. So here's the thing: knowledge. You can have all the knowledge in the world, and I know some of you might even fall in this category, right, where you know all these things about these spiritual um, techniques. You've been studying for so long. You can talk all day about astrology, but where are the results? Okay, because here's the thing: you can have all the knowledge, but if you don't have focus, discipline, imagination, and energy, you can't utilize it. So you're literally just puffing hot air. Okay, we call it intellectual masturbation. All right. So you don't want to fall in this category. And even if you do fall in this category, it's okay, because that's the whole thing about being a human being, is that we can evolve, we can change. So I just wanted to bring some perspective. So talking about imagination is really, really important. And again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 simple, easy techniques for you to increase your imagination. Okay. Again, if you want to have a whole set path, a whole, set path specifically for you according to your astrology and numerology chart, that's when you want to contact me for the magic coaching sessions, which you can contact me at occulthealing22@gmail.com. The email's in the description. One last point that I want to make before I get into these three things is that the human mind, the way that I think we're a little bit confused on how the human mind adapts and how the human mind works and how it learns. Okay. And we can attest to this because of our ancient ancestors. Our ancient ancestors taught in story format and metaphorical format because they understood how the feminine part of the mind works. Remember, you can learn something consciously, right? You can know it all right here in your frontal cortex, but then it's not improving your life because it's not back here in the subconscious mind. And the two other more ancient brains, which is the mammal brain and then the reptilian brain. If you don't get the information back there, it's not going to change your life. Okay. So this is why all our ancient ancestors taught in story format. Look at all the ancient texts. Look at all the ancient stories that we turn into religions, and we're taking literal today because we're too logical, because the whole world has become masculine. You see? The whole world, the whole society is in a masculine format. All right, this is why we're so focused on individualism, not knowing that the individual is important. Obviously, it's important, but of course, you're going to need a balance of understanding the whole as well. But especially places like America and any other well-developed country, they're overly masculine. Even the women. That's why it's all focused on, me, and your perspective, and what do you want to do with your life? And, again, if we're raised in these well-developed countries, right, it's just our product of an environment. We grew up like this. But like I said, we're going to get into this, and this is exactly why imagination is so important. Our ancient ancestors understood this. Every single continent, every single ancient culture, I don't care what culture you come from, you go back far enough, you're going to find story formats. You're going to find characters, archetypes, because that's how we learn. This is why astrology became archetypes. Okay, you think about the planets, they're archetypes. This is why tarot, archetypes. You see, numerology, archetypes, characters. You see, so this is how we learn. So this is why imagination is really, really important to your spiritual path. So the first cool technique is these are a little fun. I mean, before I know one more thing. Of course, improving spending time with children will improve your imagination. Okay, if you have children in your life or children that you can get in contact with, that, spending time with them and just analyzing their mind and how they think and operate will bring you back to reality. Because as you get older, as we become adults, we become so stiff and so, we become dumber. We become less realistic. It's really opposite. Everything is opposite. Children are more realistic than adults are. It's because we become stiff and we become hardened instead of being like a sponge, instead of being like Play-Doh, where you move, you're like water, like Bruce Lee told you to be like water. So spending time with children, of course. All right, so the first fun little technique, right? I don't know what to call these techniques. I have no names for this stuff, but just things that I've learned from psychology books and stuff like that. So the first thing you can do is, if you have a physical dictionary, even if you don't, I mean, you can look up, dictionary.com or something. And what you want to do is you want to pick a word, right? Any word, whatever word attracts you. You don't have to know what it means. Well, I mean, you will have to know what it means, but you want to pick a word, right? And you want to write either a short poem or a short story, which a short story could be like 3 paragraphs about that particular word. Again, like, this is a little fun exercise that's going to improve your imagination. Okay, you got to get your mind back in story mode or poetry, like I said, or a metaphorical mode. Because remember, our ancient ancestors taught in poetry or story format, and sometimes both mixed in together. Okay, when you think about the scriptures of the Bible, that's poetry and story format mixed together. Okay, that we're taking literal today. All right, but we don't understand that these are archetypes, characteristics of your own self, of the human being. So the little, like I said, little fun exercise you could do is, if you have a physical dictionary, just open it up. The first word you see, because that'll make it even harder, right? You don't want to make it too easy. First word you see, you want to either write a poem about it, short poem, or write a short story, 3 paragraphs. Make it fun, because that's what imagination is all about. It's about bringing that child back into you. Some of you we're always aspiring to be too grown, too mature. And that's why you lose the color of life. You just become bland and you become boring. And you never laugh, you never smile anymore. You never appreciate the little things in life. When's the last time you just looked at your hand and just just wondered about your blood cells and your bone structure? When's the last time you did stuff like that? That's how you know you're too stuck in adulthood. Okay? So again, that could be a fun little exercise. Pick a word, write a poem about it, write a poem centered around the word, or write a short story centered around that word. And this is something you could do every once in a while, just to spark your creativity and your imagination. The next thing, of course, most of you probably are familiar with, is visualization. All right. But to make it a lot easier, first of all, the best way to visualize is when you're in a meditative state. So, like I always say, that morning and that night, right? Well, the morning is probably the best. As soon as you wake up, you're in that meditative state naturally. You don't even have to try to, as soon as you wake up. So this is how you can make it easier, is you can visualize what you want every morning. Okay. So if you've been paying attention to my videos, my last video, I was talking about goals, right? And I said writing down your goals every single morning, every single night. Well, pick that one desire that I was talking about. If you didn't see that last video, look at my last video. And I said you should have at least one extreme desire on your goals, no more than 10 goals at a time. You got to condense, you got to have the discipline to be able to condense your goals. All right, but you should have at least one intense desire, because I explained the difference between wants and desires in the last video, so check that out. Okay, so what you want to do is that one intense desire, you can visualize it, okay, every morning. But what I really mean is you want to visualize yourself in first person. So just as an example, if you wanted $10,000, right? You want to visualize you holding the $10,000, counting the money, or even better, spending the money on what you want. Like, let's say you're going to use the $10,000 to buy new clothes or something. Simple. I'm just talking about simple stuff. Envision yourself going to the store, or even just going on Amazon and clicking, and you're feeling, what does it feel like when you're touching the keyboard? You're looking at Amazon, or you're in the store and you're touching the clothes, and what does the store smell like? What do you hear? You hear people talking in the background. The better the visualization, that's how you properly visualize. You want to experience touch, smell, your hearing, taste if you can. You know, pretend you're chewing gum. What does the gum taste like? All right. This is how you properly visualize. And if you do this every morning, this is also how you attract things better. But this is also going to improve your imagination, your visualization skills. Remember, imagination is one of the most important things here. Okay. But like I said, don't forget about focus, discipline, imagination, energy, and then knowledge is the icing on the cake. So how we make the cake: focus, discipline, imagination, energy. Then how to make it real pretty, and put that icing on and put the the candles in the cake and stuff. That's all knowledge right there. That's the knowledge. Okay. So visualize your intense desire every single morning. That's going to, in return, help you attract which you desire more, but also improve your imagination skills for you to, again, be more successful and a better human being and a better magician. Okay. And the last thing is another fun thing is basically what you do is you take a scene from a movie or a book. It could be your favorite movie, it could be your favorite book, or it could just be randoms. This is the fun thing about it. Go to your local library, excuse me, go to the storybook section, the fiction section, right? And just pick out a book that looks that attracts you, or like same thing, go to Netflix or something like that and just look at a random fiction. It has to be fiction, the better it is, right? Because we're using imagination here. And either watch that TV show or movie for a little bit, pick out a scene. You want to pick out one scene. Same thing with the book. You want to go into the book, go to a certain chapter or something and read it for a little bit and pick out a scene. Now, here's what you want to do is you want to go in your mind and change the story to your liking. Okay. Sounds a little weird, right? Sounds a little kiddish, but again, imagination, this is what it's all about. You got to bring some color back into your life. How would you write the story in that particular scene? What would you change about it? Or with the movie or the TV show, what would you change about it? Think about some of these things. Think about how you would write it better. Think about how you would create the story better in that one scene. It doesn't have to be a long thing, but this could be something that's fun that you could do all the time. You could be watching a movie and you'd be like, I would do this differently. I would have wrote it this way. I would have put this character, I would have had this character do that. You want to intentionally do this. Again, that's going to increase your imagination, okay, which is going to increase your ability to be a magician, which is going to increase your ability to be successful even in a materialistic world. This is why I said the better you get at spirituality, the better you get at life, period. Okay? Better, more fun you start having. Make this a game. If you have a partner, it's even better. If you have friends that you're close with like that, it's even better. Guys can turn this into a game when you guys are hanging out. Play more games. Okay? That's what it's about. That's going to increase your imagination as well. That's going to increase that colorfulness. Like I said, some people become so colorless. But, play games, have fun. Laugh. Don't be so serious all the time. Because again, that seriousness is going to ball you up and it's going to make you stagnant. And that's going to affect your ability to manifest. Okay? So again, the recap, all right, is the most important things. Like I said, focus, discipline, imagination. Then the knowledge is added on top of that. If you can gain those things, like I said, for those of you that want the whole package as far as learning discipline, focus, imagination, and energy, and also giving you knowledge, that's you want to get the magic coaching sessions with me. Okay. So, and I'm only, I said this before in one of my other videos. I'm only letting a few more people add on to the sessions because basically when you get the magic coaching sessions with me, I'm working with you every single month. All right. So after your first payment, I'm working with you monthly with no charge because basically you're becoming my student. I'm going to teach you how to attract things. I'm going to teach you how to do this. I'm going to teach you to get, help you get what you want and also to be a better human being in as far as the materialistic world as well and bring that color back to you. All right. Get some more of that color in your life. So of course, like I say, always, if you're interested in any of my services, coathealing22@gmail.com is the email. The email's in the description of this video. Remember the astrology readings, tarot readings, the detox session, how to make money from home, the money spell, or just a one-on-one consultation with me, so on and so forth. Contact me. Make sure you guys subscribe. If you subscribe, hit that bell button so you can get those notifications, because I know people been hitting me up. I don't get to know. I didn't even know you were still doing videos. You got to hit the bell button now, because remember, YouTube changed how they do things. All right. So even if you're subscribed to me, if you don't hit the bell notification button, you're not going to get those notifications. So play these games, play these little techniques, get better imagination. As always, today is so-called New Year's Eve, right? Go out there with your friends and family, enjoy yourself, and keep those vibrations high. And I will be with you next time. One love.